Let's see here. So I got one viewer. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, I got 5 people on there now. Okay. Let's see. All right. All right. Just waiting for everybody else. I know this is a new system. Um, hopefully, everyone could hear me good. I don't really see. Let me see if I could. Let me see here if I could jump in. Um, mm, not be able to see the chat, so let me see if I could put that in. Um, I'll have to figure out that how to do the chats. So no text. All right, let me just so no okay. Text. All right. All right, great. All right, let me just. Okay, awesome. All right, so let me. So okay. All right. All right, great. All right, let me just. Okay, awesome. All right, so. All right, there is a little delay, but hopefully it's not too big of a problem. Okay. Let's just see if this. Try this out today. See if this works good. I know it's different, so I'm gonna try and see if I could see it on Twitch as well. and hopefully this all works out. That we could be on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter at the same time. Um, Sorry for the bugs. This is a new system. So we don't have that other issue that we had last time. All right, let's see here. Let me see. Am I live here or not? Last live 7 months ago. No. All right, doesn't say I'm live on Twitch, which. Okay, so we're just live on YouTube. Is that it? Okay. All right. I guess we'll just do that for now. All right. Well, welcome to Wednesday's live session. Today we'll be discussing what's going on in the markets and what we see for the foreseeable future, what earnings have impacted on us, what our markets are looking like for us, and how the health of this market is actually looking. So, last week we talked about how the markets were going to break out potentially above this level of 61, 65. Okay, we got to 61.66 and we couldn't do that. We have that ascending triangle and we ended up breaking down. We hit that area 6,030. Okay, we held it there for a second and then we lost it. And then we're right here at that 200 SMA. Okay, right there at that 200 SMA. All right. Right there at that 200 SMA, and that's what we're currently at, hanging out. So now the story is, what's going to happen? Are we going to hold that 200 SMA? 100 SMA, and come back up? Okay, so we have this resistance here, which is at 60.30, 60.29. Okay, we have the 50 SMA right there at 60.39. And we have the 20 SMA at 60.70. Okay, so we have 3 layers of resistance there, and then we have that 6100 still as resistance there. All right, so we have a squeeze, firing down. We have a squeeze firing down, and we have RSI below 50. Okay, so in this, not looking too good, right? Not looking too healthy for ES. Okay, going to our weekly. Our weekly here. We have a larger section of this consolidation. So this consolidation come back to 585, 58, 55, 59.10. Okay, our mid level is right here at that 6,059.90 area. Okay, that's where our mid level is. So we attempted to break out once, failed, came back down. We attempted to break out, failed, came back to the mid. Attempted to break out again and came back here, and so this is where we are now. So above this level of 59.80 area, we could hold that mid level and come back inside. Below that level here, we're gonna come back down to that 59.10, 58, 55, and see if we hold this area. Now there is one thing, we have been seeing that bearish divergence, pretty much coming down. We had that bearish divergence coming down. So that's not good per se, but that could just be consolidation as well, right? We have been making, higher highs and then lower lows. Lower highs on the RSI, but again, that could just be consolidation sideways. So until we actually lose this 58.50 area, then and this loses that 50 area, then we're gonna be in trouble. Okay. So far, this is just consolidation on a weekly sense and on a monthly sense. So on a monthly sense, here we're just kind of going sideways. So we've been going sideways for 1, 2, 3, 4 months. So 4 months. And that's not to say that can't be like a bull flag here and it's any setup to go higher. Okay, we're kind of grinding on the upper end of the channel. So, this could definitely just be consolidation and we're going sideways. So that's what we're looking at. We could be like this. Come here sideways and then start grinding up again. So here we've been sideways for about 3-4 months. Okay. We're going to be the end of the month this week. There's no telling if we're going to be in March and we're going to rally on up, or if we're going to lose that out and come down to the lower channel here, and then we're going to come back. Okay. So that's the deal right here. Right now we're in a split decision, right? So we have this 59.90 as our upper range, and then we have this 58.55 between 59.90 as our lower range. Okay, and this is all consolidation here. This large area is consolidation. So it's easy that we can pop back up to 59.90 and then come back inside over here above this area and consolidate and attempt again. And that would be a solid thing that we would do if we're going to break out next month. Because basically next month it's next week. So if that does pop up and we get back up there, we consolidate next week, we go. Okay, if not, we come back down, hit the bottom, we come back up next month sometime, and then we pop up and go. Okay, so that's ES for us, right? That's the way ES is acting. Okay, now we go into SPY. Now we go to SPY here. And we can see that SPY is we hit that supply zone here, and then we had that ascending triangle. We attempted a breakout. Okay, failed the breakout. Came back inside. Okay, dropped down the instead of breaking out the ascending triangle, we dropped down the ascending triangle, hit the 100 SMA, and we're holding that 594.72 daily support. Okay, now again, looking at our monthly and our weekly, this area here, is going to be our lower end of our support at 580, and our upper end, our upper end is going to be our resistance area of 611. Okay, 611 to 580. So our mid level here is about 595. Okay, above that we're still bullish, pushing up. Now below that we do go to 585 and 580. Now keep in mind we do have a gap fill right there at that 585. So, granted this could drop. We got a squeeze firing down. We got RSI below 50. We do have that bearish divergence there. We do have that gap fill. Okay, so I thought we were gonna hit that gap fill here. We didn't come back up. Now maybe we do now. So maybe we do come up a little bit this week, but essentially I think we could hit that gap fill area. That gap fill area, and then recover from there and come back up. Okay. Okay. So keep in mind that 585 is a big possibility that we could hit. Again, we could easily come back up here at 603, 600, and this could be a bear flag. And then from here, we could drop down here. And then from this zone right here, we could recover. From this zone right here, wherever this zone hits, whether it's this week, next week, wherever that zone hits, it recovers, come back. We finish this consolidation that we're going sideways, and next month we either take off or we chop around some more. But overall, we're still in this sideways chop right here. We're still here. So the lower end is 575. But I'm thinking 580. Okay, 575 is the low end. The higher end is about 611. Okay. So keeping that in mind, what we're going into. This thing still looks good for the longer term. Our channel here on SPY, we are losing it. So we would have to get it back by the end of the week or next week strongly if we want to keep that channel. If not, then we're going to be inside this sideways channel here for a little bit, and then maybe make the run next month, or into next month, into next week, or into next month. All right, so that is SPY. All right, so if we do pop up, I say we go to 603. Okay, and then if that rejects there, then we could set up for a drop to 585. Okay, so that's a big one right there. Okay, so if we drop to if we go to 603 and we reject again, like 603, 604, we reject again, then that could be a possibility that we drop it to 585. Okay. Now, if we go and we hold it and we stay above there, then that could be, okay, we're going to consolidate up here before we take off again. But, I've been, every time we get around these levels here, I think we're going to gap fill, and we never do. So, this one is looking a lot more promising that we will gap fill. We haven't hit the 100 SMA since here, and that one had a big pop. So let's see if this one has a small pop, and then drops it again, because that's 200 SMA is at 575. We don't necessarily want to see it down there, but it could. Remember, 575 is the lower end of that support area. So it's right there. It's right there, and that 200 estimate will match up with that in the future. So this pops up this week or next, and then bop, drops back down. That could happen. That's a possibility. So remember, we're right in the mid. We're right in the mid threshold. So that mid threshold is at 594.70 area. Okay, right where that 100 SMA is. Okay, we stay above there, we get that 603, 604, 603. Okay, we reject there, we reject this area, and then we lose 590. If we lose 590, we're going 585. Okay, so we lose 590. We lose 590, we go 585, 580, possibly worst case 575. and then we bounce back up and do a potentially double bottom there, and then come back up. All right. So something to consider, you know, when we pop back up, or if we don't, whatever we do, we're right in the middle. You know, earnings came out for Nvidia, and they were good, but it didn't really move as much as we wanted it to. But that's something we're gonna have to see how it works out this week. If it takes off, or if it doesn't, or if it drops back down, or if it consolidates, whatever it does, we want to see what's gonna happen with it. What's it gonna do in the morning? Because it's basically flat. It's flat right now, and so the market is kind of flat as well. Doesn't know what it's gonna do with that. Okay. It's not that it's bad. It's not that it's good. It's flat. Okay. All right. Let's look at NASDAQ. Okay. So NASDAQ is the bigger one with the semis in it that are more affecting, right? So we saw this area last week, and we said, we got to be careful when this area hits. And we got right at it. We got right at that area. We didn't go inside of it like this one did. We got very, very close to it, and then we rolled back down. Okay, we're holding that 100 SMA. We're holding that 100 SMA. And again, we're in a sideways consolidation as well. And we can see that here. We can see that here. We're just in that sideways consolidation. And here's the mid-level, right? So right now we're in that lower end of the channel, in the sideways channel, and we want to see, okay, are we going to come back up this week and get back over that 20 SMA and continue to hold that 20 SMA like we have been doing? And is this going to slope up like this? Is it going to slope up like this? Okay. Is it going to slope up like that, holding the 20 SMA? And we're going to keep going and make an ascending triangle on the weekly chart, which could very possibly happen. Okay. Or are we just going to go sideways up and down? Okay. Like what is it? What is the next play? That's what we're looking at. Those are the possible angles that we're looking at. Okay. So the monthly, same thing, sideways. We're not doing any. This was a rejection. This was an indecision candle. This is another rejection, but this week's not over, but it's going sideways. So when it's going sideways, it's not really telling us much. It's just sideways. Sideways action for the months. Okay, now for the daily, we could see that pretty clearly. We could see, okay, this is area of resistance. It's area of support. We're in this sideways channel. We're closer to the lower end of the support area. Okay, here's a mid-level. Mid-level's about here. So, can we come back here to the 21,580 of 21,600 or 21,600 and test that? And if it fails, then we're in a bear flag, and then we drop to 20,000 or 20,100, and then reverse from here, or reverse from 20,700. Do we reverse from there and then come back inside and then do the whole thing over again? We're at the lower end, which is good. But considering that SPY has that 585 gap fill, that could not be good. Well, of course, SPY could drop more than Nasdaq or the Qs, but typically it's not going to drop at drastically when this one doesn't move. Okay, so looking at what we have here, I do think that we do have a little positive action going on the hourly. So we hit this bottom again, and we obviously have a lot stronger RSI on that bottom. So we have a lot stronger RSI on that bottom. So this potentially looks like we could go up this week. So that's why I am saying we could definitely try to attempt to hit this area here, 21,500, 21,600, and then see if we reject that. And if we reject that, then we'll come back down to this 20,900 to 20,700. Okay. So, we could see all this area here is a bounce area. So this area here is a bounce area, and that's where we are. That's where we are. Okay, so we can bounce here and then come back down. We'll see what it is. If we get back over this 21,600 area, then we could be in the upper range again. But so far, we're in this big giant box of consolidation on our monthly, weekly, and our daily from our markets. So our SPY, our Nasdaq, we're in those we're in that consolidation zone. Okay, that consolidation zone can be annoying, and we're up 1 week, we're down the next, we're up 1 week, down the next, 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 up 1 week, up trying to break out and then down again. It's all over the place, very, very volatile, but it's consolidation. So we want to see which way it's going to break out. Okay, so far right now we're on the lower end. So the lower end is going to tell us, hey, are we gonna hold this lower end and then come and continue on this pattern of going up and down, or are we gonna set up to break it down, tap this, or tap this area right here, this double bottom area, or tap that 27 or 20,700 and then go up and get back inside? Or are we, literally going to break down, go to that 200 SMA, and then come back up? Or we just free fall down? Okay. So that's the NASDAQ. So let's look at the Qs. Okay, the Qs. Okay, let's see. This high 510.16. So 5.9. So the the Qs gap filled yesterday. They got filled yesterday on this. So that's good. Okay, we got filled on the Qs. Now, do we have another gap? We do. We have another gap down here at 492.87. It's a pretty far drop. It's right at the 200 SMA. I'm not counting it out, but I think we do go higher first. I think we go 525 first, and then we test that, see if it rejects. If that rejects, hey, that could be a possibility. A wash out, a very hard drop, and then it turns around. Could be. Okay. So right now we're seeing, okay, are we gonna pop? We pop it. Okay, then we're gonna drop. We'll see if we get there. But when we get to this 525 area, we'll probably like to hedge up. Okay, hedge up right there. We'll see how this is. If we get back over 515, it's a good chance that we go push it towards that 525 area. If it doesn't and we lose that 512, we lose that 508, it looks like we're just going to go straight and push it down to that 500 area, and then 590 or 492, 493 area. Okay, so but this one is still in a box as well. Okay, just like we had on NASDAQ. Just like we have on NASDAQ. We have a box here too. Okay. All right. So there's your lower end box. That's your upper end box. But again, that 20 SMA is acting as support. So is that going to hold that 20 SMA and hold it, and then we're going to have this sloping up support here? That's a possibility. Okay, that's a possibility. You know, and we're just going sideways on the monthly. So there's that possible situation here. You know, we're going to see that if that 100 SMA holds. If it doesn't, then we know, okay, that 20 SMA isn't holding, and we're going to probably drop it back down to 500. Okay, we lose that 500, then we definitely going to go down here to that 493, and that's going to be where the 200 SMA is. Okay, we haven't lost all of the moving averages yet. 20 SMA is still above 50. Okay, 50 still above 100, so it's still okay. It's still strong, but if we do lose that, you know, we'll probably go there quickly. And but I would say 500 would hold, and we continue in this sideways chop. Okay, I even think this holds, and we get back to 525, and we hold that area. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. Okay, so that's what we're looking at on the Qs. So if we get back up to 525, I would still get some puts, some hedges for sure, because we could still hit that 500 and 493. You know, because we're in this consolidation here. So this could be a bear flag for me. Okay, if we get above that 525 and we hold, then we're going to be in this consolidation up here. And then we're going to be waiting to see if we take off or not. Okay. All right, let's go next one, IWM. All right, IWM, kind of free falling. We had that tight triangle form, okay, and that triangle fired down and dropped. Okay, now we're in this potential double bottom situation or not. Okay, we're in this potential double bottom at 214 area, and we're also on that holding that previous downtrend that it broke. We got a squeeze firing down. We got RSI down. Okay, we have a lot of area of support right here as well. A lot of area of support right here. Okay, there is a little gap fill right here at 212. Did we hit that already? No, we hit 213. So 212 area, we have a little gap fill. So that's something that we have to consider as well. But if we get back above 218.50, 288.50, that's going to be above the 200 SMA, and that would be good, and that could potentially prevent that from dropping. Okay. So that is something that we need to consider as well. So either double bottom, or this thing is going to continue dropping. Double bottom and we get over the 200 SMA and then we get back up, or this thing keeps dropping to 212 to 11 area. DIA. All right, DIA, it had that like cup and handle situation here. Okay, we lost that support. Okay, dropped it here in this consolidation between 433 and 438. And in between moving averages, the 50 and the 100. Now we have a gap fill here as well on DIA. So we have to consider that as well, because this one has a potential bear flag on it as well. So DIA, does it hold? It's holding for now. It's holding it's consolidating sideways. You know, it's not doing anything except going sideways. We need to get through that 438 and start moving upwards. If not, then this thing is going to break down. And where's it going to go? It's going to break down and most likely go to that 425. So that's going to be a big drop to that 425. Okay, another 10 points to drop. And that can't happen, especially with that bear flag that it has on it right now. Okay. So that's something to watch too. Okay, if we can't get back above 438, then this has the potential to drop 425. Okay. So the thing is, you know, to hedge up in this situation in these areas, because we could pop to short term, but it's looking like, you know, there's a lot of gap fills below. Not a lot, but there are gap fills below. Okay. 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 So, okay, coin. Okay, Coinbase. Now, coin has a gap right here at 197.71. Okay, well, 197.25 actually. 25. So, gap fill area. Okay. All right, so that's the gap fill area there. With coin, you know, coin, okay, 20 SMA is going to be right there as well. Okay, that gap fill. You know, coin is you know, had phenomenal earnings, had upgrades, had everything. It had everything you want in a stock to take off, except it didn't. It died down, and the only thing I could think of is, number one, it has some regulation reviews that are upcoming, and maybe that's, you know, essentially scares investors. But the other thing is Bitcoin had dropped as well, and that's pretty much a factor as well. So we take a look at Bitcoin really quickly, and we see that Bitcoin had this consolidation in it, and we tried to break out twice, and we failed, and now we're breaking down. Okay, we're holding that 8,300 or 83,000 area, but we do have a gap fill right here at 77,930. 77,930, and that's right above the 200 SMA. So can we, now this is looking like it could pop though. It could pop back up because it had 4 days down. This could pop up to say 89,000, maybe even 90,000, and reject, because this is the consolidation point. This could reject right here and then set up and drop down to 77,900 or 76,000 again. But it could pop, so I'm essentially leaning towards a pop and then a drop for all of these stocks. We got a squeeze firing down. RSI is below 30, so it might need a little breather, and then that could set up, and then it could drop down. So if we're looking at that for coin, it's hard to say because coin's gap fill is right below it. 197, and today we got down to 205, so it's literally like $8 away, and that could be one day. That could be one day for coin. Now, but we did see like we have a bottoming out. We had low volume sell off here, and then high volume here, and then here we have pretty much no volume. Either way, it's equal. The buyers and sellers are equal. So this equal doji candle is telling you, hey, we got equal buyers and sellers here, so it doesn't know which way it's going to go. So tomorrow should be a eye opener on which way we're going to go. Now again, coin has been dropping for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 7 days straight, and today was a flat day. Okay, so 7 days straight. So this could actually bounce back to 235, maybe even 245, and then it could still gap fill. Okay, or it could just gap fill and then turn around. So my thoughts are, if Bitcoin pops up, coin should pop up as well. And then if Bitcoin drops back down to fill that gap, coin should as well. Okay, because that's essentially what it's moving with. And right now it's holding, and Bitcoin is holding as well. So if this gets a pop up, 235, 245, and rejects there, then anticipate we're gonna see 197. And from there, do I think it's a great buy? I do think it's a great buy still. I think this consolidation zone here is a great buy, but it's not holding as well as I would like it to. But here, you see all this consolidation here, we're right in there. So we lost this here, support, and the next area of support should be that 197.25. So, and that's an area that you should buy. And that should be the uptrend area as well. So that should be a good area. Okay, that's a 20 SMA on the monthly as well, going to be right around there. It says 185, but then closer when it hits, probably going to be 190. Okay. So as for that, do I still like coin? Longer term, I do. It just needs to get this out of the way, and I think it could be fine. Okay. Get it out of the way, and then it could maybe even have a V recovery. Some whatever Bitcoin is going to do, coin should follow through. All right, let's see here. Okay. Okay. All right. System. There we go. All right. This one. This one is looking a little weak, as its RSI on the weekly and the daily are below 30. I mean, below 50. They're below 50. Stochastics are coming down. It's right here at this area of support. But if it loses that support, it could go down to 17. But if it holds this, it needs to show more strength. Because right now, you know, it's kind of showing what coin is showing a little bit, same kind of action. Um, it essentially found a bottom, but it's kind of going just sideways. We got to see if this is gonna be a potential bottom with a couple more candles, or if it's gonna break down, because it still could be a bear flag. So yeah, it's still not looking the greatest. It is holding this area of support here, but it's not looking the greatest. It's rejected this every single time. Okay, every time it rejects those things, it gets below the moving averages. We're currently below the moving averages. Moving averages are consolidating in this area. So we got area of resistance there. Okay, monthly here. You know, this area, the 18 area, looks like a good area of support. Definitely a good area of support here. That would be the best buy. The best buy would be around 18 area. Now it already hit that and came up, and it's trying to hold this 22 area. But if we lose that, then the 18 area is going to be the best buy. We got a squeeze firing down. RSI is still below 50, not quite above it yet. So this one needs more. I need needs more time to identify what it wants to do. Right now, it's not really showing too much. Okay. Okay. IONQ. Okay, IONQ. Mm-hmm. All right, IONQ is consolidating. I don't really like this action. This up down action, but it is consolidating sideways in this box, sideways box. You know, we have our mid level at 38.30, our upper range at 48, our lower range at 29. It is at the lower range, so it could possibly bounce here and stay in this range. Okay, RSI is pretty low. You know, it's in the 30s. It's in the 30s. But if it does lose this area, if it does lose that area, you can potentially go to 20. Because there's a little bit of support at 25, but 20 would be your big bet. Right here, it should hold this area. I'm not really sure what it does. Okay, quantum computing. Okay. So quantum computing. So it needs to hold this area. Definitely hold this area between 27 and 29. It needs to hold that area and come back. If it doesn't, we go to 20. and that's where you want to buy at 1920 area. Otherwise, this is just sideways for now. If you're looking at it long term, it looks good for long term, but it just needs to stay in above those areas and maintain this bull flag because it's kind of going up and down, but we want it to go more of a sideways action. We don't really like that pop it, drop it, pop it, drop it, pop it, drop it, pop it, drop it. We want to see a steady flow. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Scalar. Scalar kind of looks like cat. So yeah, it kind of looked like cat. So I'm not really thrilled about how this chart looks. It looks kind of like how cat looked like before it dropped. So scalar held that 188.50, okay, which is this consolidation here. Okay, held that in the 200 SMA. Okay, stochastic's not ready to turn. RSI is below 50. Weekly chart. Weekly chart, we got to hold above. We got to hold above this area. 199 area, you got to hold above that. So if this could get back above 199 area by Friday, that's a good thing. Okay, it does have earnings on the 5th. So that's next week sometime. Thursday or Friday. Let me see here. Wednesday. Next week, Wednesday. So today's the 26th. Oh wait, no, today's not the 26th. It's Wednesday. Next Wednesday. So a week from today, it has earnings. So if it could get back above 199 by Friday, that would be possibly a good setup because it's still going to be up on the upper end of the channel or the upside of the uptrend. Okay, and then this could set up some kind of ascending triangle kind of pattern or just a straight up bull flag. But if we're below this area of 195 and we're chilling around 198, that's going to be a big iffy because it's weak. And sometimes when you go into earnings week, it's good. It's good. They're just selling off so they can pop it back. That's good. But you want to more likely come into it flat, like this. Flatness. Okay, and then it come here, pop it up. Okay, and then it fizzled out. So here, maybe the same happens. It pops up, then it fizzled out, and you stay in this range. But as of right now, it needs above 199. Oh, I read that wrong. All right. AS. Mm, okay, let's see here. Okay, you got some support here in this zone. So you got some support here in the zone. It looks like you're forming some inverse head and shoulders on the 4 hour chart. It looks like it's breaking out after hours. Now it doesn't matter what happens after hours. It matters what happens during the hours. So inverse head and shoulders breakout. Earnings are not until tomorrow. Not even tomorrow. Friday. Wait. Earnings are tomorrow after the close, but earnings call is not till Friday morning, 9 a.m. So, looking at it drop and everything, looking at it down. Let's see here. Okay, so like alternative energy. Okay, I think it could do well. It has a little inverse head and shoulders at bottom, a little bullish divergence. It's in a good area of support. It's at an area where it couldn't drop craziness, right? Couldn't drop too crazy. I think the maximum this thing could drop is around to like 8.50, $9. So I mean, it's still a drop, but essentially you should start pushing this and start turning around, start going higher. So it all depends on the earnings. Earnings are always 50-50. You see that on everything. I'd say that on everything. Nvidia had great earnings, blew it out the water. They didn't move. Okay, so this one could have great earnings, but this one's on a downtrend. So if the earnings are good, then this could turn that whole company around. So it's a little different, but sometimes earnings are very, very difficult. But on a stock like this where it's downtrending and it's at its 52-week lows, there is a really good chance that it changes the price action and the direction with really good earnings. So if they come out with super good earnings, like the stock that I posted earlier, Porch, that stock, has been going down for years, and then today they posted a bunch of earnings that they haven't seen in a long time. So that stock ripped, and it says that it's going to increase those earnings next year. So then it's going to continue to increase. So those type of things can change the stock's direction. But larger names, it's a little bit more difficult. Okay. 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 What's next here? Okay. Okay. Pepsi. All right, Pepsi. Pepsi. I mean, we got in Pepsi here. We got in Pepsi here, and kudos to whoever called it out when it was right here, and we got into it here, and it rallied on up, and hit our target 158. We did solid on that. We were targeting that 157.50, the 158 area. It hit it. We had got little 160s for it later on, but it was a great play. It pulled back today, uh, and as it should. It had a 5 day run up, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 day run up. So allow it popped up, and now it's pulling back some. People are taking profits. People that are coming here, don't tell me that you didn't take any profits. No, you just have some longer ones to hold, or if you got greedy, then you got greedy. But I took profits along the way. Here we took out, I think we took out our last profits of our 155 and 150 calls, and then we took some of the 160 calls, or 165 calls, whichever calls we had, the 160 or I think it was 160. And we had some more, and we added to those here. Now, those aren't until later on, but it has a nice bull flag. Okay, is it done? Well, it's one candle. Okay, it hit this area, which was resistance, of course. It's going to have issues, and it's going to pull back. So pull back. Okay, does that mean it's going to come all the way back down over here? I don't think so. Okay, why is that? Why don't I think so? Because we have a high here, we then have a low, and then we have a higher high here. All we're going to do is probably maximum, if this continues dropping, which I think it holds at 152, but if it does continue dropping, it goes to 149 area, and then it bounces back there, and it bounces back to 152. So broke the downtrend. Okay, held it. Okay, now it's pushing up here. Okay, profit was taken. Now it's holding here. Okay, it should hold at 152. If it doesn't, it comes back to 148, and then bounces back up and comes back to 152. Consolidates for a little, and then takes off. And here is, okay, double bottom area. Okay, this is gonna probably be a rejection candle for the week. Next week, probably gonna be higher. It's probably gonna be right here in this area. Probably have a candle like this next week, and then the week after maybe we go, or in 2 weeks we go. But I think I said that around the dividend time we should be pushing through that 160 area. So dividend time is not until next in a week and a half. The 7th is Friday. All right, let me see here. Yeah, the 7th is Friday, next Friday. So I don't think that it pushes until next Friday. So for those who got long calls to March or April, I think you're fine. So all the shorter term calls, you should be out of them completely, and you should only have longer term calls. So these are nice. These are good. I don't see any problem with it. Okay, J&J. All right, J&J is another one. We got in here, and we got in here, and that thing has just blasted off here. This is a nice long-term play that we had. J&J also hit our target, 165. And I think we got out of everything. I think we don't have any more J&J, do we? I don't think I have any more J&J, do I? No, I don't. I don't have any more J&J. I sold all of them when it hit 165. That was our target. So if you still have J&J, I mean, you either got a little greedy or you got in late. I don't know what it is, but we sold them all right here. This was our target area, the gray area. We had mentioned that gray area because this area here, that was the previous sell-off area. Now, and then we're at the upper end of the channel. Now, do I think J&J is done and it's gonna, fall bye? No, but I do think it could come back to 160 area, and I think maybe 160, 50, 160 area, and then I'll buy it again, to possibly 168 to 170 again, but it's gonna probably consolidate in this zone for a little while, maybe a week or two, maybe a week, and then it should take off again. But very strong candles. I told you guys this on the monthly. I said this several times on the monthly. I said that we're putting a bullish Harami, and then this month is going to take off, and we might even hit 163, 165. And I said, but if we do, it's going to pull back. It could pull back all the way down. Okay, if we close this month, if we close Friday under 160, then that's a problem. Then we're going to fall down and stay in this consolidation. Now, if we could stay over 160, 162.70, if we could stay over 162.70 this week, that's going to be a very good thing, unless we gap up and sell off next week or next month. Okay, but if we could hold this breakout area by the end of this week, that means that we have a monthly breakout, and that monthly breakout means that we go to 175. That we go to 175 and 180. So that's a very big possibility. I like the RSI above 50. I like the squeeze going positive. I like everything about this. I like it. Again, we're out of pretty much everything, if not everything. I think we're out of everything. But I will get more of it when it pulls back. Because do I like it? Yes. Do I think it's gonna go? Yes. But again, we had a big giant run up. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. What is next here? Okay. Sorry, my buttons got stuck. Okay. All right. All right. CRM. Okay, so this one had earnings. Okay. Okay. All right, so this one had earnings, and it dropped. All right, so here's your issue. Your issue is that it is below 310. That's your issue. Make it 308. You're below 308. Okay. 371 is the bottom of your chop area. 290 is the middle of your chop area. So this is your new home. Either you get above 308 or you stay in between 290 and 308. Okay? And if you lose 290, you're going to go to 271. From 271, I'm a buyer. 290, you can be a buyer because you do have some support right here. You have support right here. Okay? 271, you have a lot more support, a lot more. Okay, but 290, you have a lot of support as well. Okay, so you have some support at 290 as well. Okay, but this is your box area. Now that 290 is that 200 SMA as well. So that area is that 200 SMA. So you drop there. Okay, let's see what tomorrow brings. If it holds and it pushes, you might have a chance to make it back to 308. But if you don't, you anticipate dropping down to that 271, and from there you want to be a buyer. Let's see, anything in between, maybe like 280, 281, 281 maybe has some support, but not as much support as 271 and 290. Okay, so you're bouncing right there on that 290 so far, but you got to see what you open at. So if you open below, you're gonna drop back down here. Open. If you stay above, you either go sideways, do nothing, and then slowly trickle back up, or you do nothing, go sideways, and then you slowly start trickling down. But it might be a big range, $30 or $38, $37. But this is your range. That's what happens when you have a big earnings range. This is your range. It's 271, 290, 308. Nothing else I could tell you on that. Okay. All right, SoFi. SoFi, again, it's in this. SoFi's in this larger range area. This box, you say this box here. Okay, held that lower end of the box. We pushed up, and so far, that reversal confirmed. We could be going to 1520. Okay, we'll see if it goes. We want the RSI to come back up and get above that 50. Okay, stochastics need to come up as well, but this needs to come back up. We know 15 that, and then we're going to be in this middle range. Okay, that mid range is at 1530. So that's our target, 1530. So it pops back up, we go to that 1530. Okay, that's where I'm selling my short-term calls. Okay, if it goes higher, great, but that's where I'm targeting, 1527. Okay, and then this is going to consolidate until it decides to run. Which way it does decide to run, it's going to consolidate here sideways in between 14 and 17. It's a $3 range. It's a big range, but it's been supporting that. So if we get there, 1527, that's where I'm getting rid of my stuff, my short-term stuff. Okay. PLTR. We gap filled. We said we would gap fill here at 85, and what do we get? Low was 85.25, and we said that 50 SMA would hit, and that 50 SMA is 85.87. So we hit it right on the dot there. So that gap filled. Now it's holding. Okay. Now again, it needs more. But it's holding. It's holding the 50 SMA. It's holding the gap fill. So there's buyers there. So it's holding. Is it going to turn around and shoot up to 125 again? Not necessarily, but it's holding where it is now. So that's all I have to say. We have a bullish divergence with the squeeze, but it's kind of fickle. It's a fickle. So we're gonna see. Is it just going sideways and then it's on either side? I think it does make a move up to 94. I'm saying about 94 area. I want to see that about 92, 94 area. Okay, that's where I'm trying to anticipate the move. 92 to 94 area. I'm trying to sell 93, 94 for the lottos. Okay, and we got a nice squeeze on there. 4 hour here. 4 hour, it's just going sideways. So if we get a little pop up, if it just slowly goes upward, that's cool. Am I calling out for a bottom and a reversal? I'm saying that it hit the gap fill and it hit the 50 SMA. That's a good area. It's a good area for at least a bounce. Okay, that bounce could take us all the way to 102. Okay, 100. 102, 100. That bounce can't take us there. It's essentially could still be a bear flag under 98. Okay, so can we bounce? Sure. Okay, am I saying that this is done dropping? No, I'm not. I'm not saying that, and I'm not saying it's bottomed. All I'm saying is it could be a short-term relief. Okay, it dropped, what, 20, 40, from 25 to 85. Okay, that's 40 points. So can we bounce, 20 points, 10 points? I think we could bounce 10 points to 94, 95. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking. Okay, overall, is it trash overall? Not necessarily. Not yet. It held where it needed to hold. So we'll see how this week ends. If it ends near, say, 98, then that's a strong stop. But yeah, if it ends near 98, that's still a very strong stock. If it ends here at below 80, 88, if it ends below 88 and even below 85, that's a weak stock and it's probably done. So we'll see what that brings next month. But again, if it ends near 98 this week, that's a strong stop. If it ends where it is now, or below 85 or at 85, that's a weak stock. Okay. But for now, I think it bounces tomorrow into Friday. Okay. Okay. Yeah. How you doing? Doing great. Trying out new stuff, so hopefully this all works out. All right, lift here. So lift is at the lower end of this support area. Okay, it had this diamond, but that diamond turned into just consolidation sideways. So now we just have consolidation sideways, but we do have a bottoming tail here, reversal. Okay, looking here, we still have this uptrend here. Okay, holding, squeeze still holding. RSI did try to break that 50 and it failed. Okay, so here we're holding that area here. We need to get back up to 1350. Okay, hopefully we can get back up to 1350 this week. Okay, if not, we're gonna have to do it next week for sure. Okay, we do have a reversal and a doji. It's kind of like a double reversal. We got a squeeze forming down on our side below 50. Those are no good. But we need to get back above that 1350. That would say, hey, we're good. Okay, we're right on the trend line, so we need to get back over there, and then that would be nice. Okay, if this does drop, we drop to 1140. I don't think it drops all the way to 10, but 1140. Okay, but I think it does hold pretty strong here. Okay. Okay, not showing much there. Showing a nice bullish divergence on the 1 hour. We'll see if that follows through though. Okay, we need to get through that 1350, the 1390 or that 1319. We get through that 1319, we should get 1315. I think it's gonna do it. I think it's gonna do it. But that's lift for you. Okay, let's see. All right, NVIDIA. NVIDIA, you can see we just had that long bearish divergence there, but we were just kind of stuck in this consolidation there. Okay, we're still inside that consolidation. Okay, we're slightly outside of the channel. Okay. Okay, so we're basically, so here's the issue here. This is what our issue is, right? We have a big bearish divergence, right? Big giant bearish divergence. I get it. I see it. Huge. Okay. But it's tight. It's very tight. We're above the 50. We're above the 50 where it's really tight. Now, this breaks out of that divergence. We're going to go for a nice, strong run. Okay, we got a squeeze forming. Okay, everything else looks good. Okay, we're at the bottom of the channel. We could make a nice, huge run up. We got a bull flag. We got a bull flag on the weekly here, and we got another bull flag here. Okay, so it's still signaling, hey, we could still go run. Okay, if that divergence breaks and we take off, that could be a big, nice, big move. Okay. So, very possible that we go and we take off. It's still possible. Even though, after hours it might be doing nothing, right? It's just doing nothing. Okay. It had good earnings. It beat it. Okay. We need to get back above that 131. Okay. Preferably, I want to see us above 135. And then from there, I need to see it to make its move. Other than that, as long as we stay above that 131, we should be good to go higher. Okay, we need to have a really strong push towards that 140. And once we break out of that 140, we need to start breaking out that 150. So tomorrow, we'll see if there's upgrades, if there's commentary, if there's this and that. And there's going to be a push higher. But right now, it's not doing nothing. It's killing both ends of the spectrum. So maybe tomorrow morning we wake up and it's higher. We'll see. But we'll see if there's commentary, if there's upgrades, and if there's anything that says, oh, we're going to partner here, or we're going to partner here, or we're going to increase this prices, or we see for the foreseeable event this is going to happen or whatnot. Okay, and that takes that higher. Okay, so this is all. Everything's good on it, except it just needs a little commentary on it. Okay, and that should take it higher. Okay, so does it look super bearish? No, not at all. Doesn't look super bearish. Okay. The monthly did try to break out, failed, but if we could get back. If we could get back to 136 by the end of this week, this will eat that candle, and that will not be a false breakout. So, want to see 136, 136.50 by the end of this week, and this is good to go into next month. and I think next month will take off, and this will go. If not, we still have a possibility if we close this week at 129. This could still be a reversal. It won't be as strong of a reversal, but it'll still be a reversal. And then next month we're gonna have to go. We'll have to go. Okay. So, is it dead? No, I don't think it's dead. All right. All right. ABT. ABT. Look. ABT's doing its thing. It's steadily grinding up. You know, what else is there to say about it? Steadily grinding up. It needs to stay above 135. Stays above 135, it should grind up to 140. Okay? If you're worried about it, exit now. You're profitable. Okay? If not, then sit tight. If it loses 134, then close it out. If it's still above that 134.60, then let it ride to 140. That's it. Nothing else to say about that one. Why? Kind of same thing. It's grinding up steadily. It's grinding up steadily. It's already hit targets. It hit targets of 319.81. If it stays above that, it's gonna go 932. If it hits that and it goes to 943. I said this one was gonna go. This one's going. You know, it's steadily in this channel, and it's just going to continue to go into this channel. And you know, that's it. That's all there is going to say about that. Doesn't look bad. It looks good. A nice bull flag fired, and it's steadily grinding. It's steadily grinding. We got in around here, and then we popped it. We got in some more, and then we made a little bit more. It's been steadily grinding up. PNAW. We attempted a breakout. We failed that breakout. We came back down, back testing these moving averages. These moving averages are holding. Okay, we want to see this above 190, and then we want to see it above 192, and most importantly, we want to see it above 197. Once we get above that 197.50, then we should start going back towards that potential breakout. But overall, you know, we had this area here as a potential resistance area. Okay, on the weekly, we're looking at this. It's a bull flag still. You know, I bought these long. I didn't buy these short term. I bought these long term for a reason, because it needs time. It needs time to set up and go. So, you know, did that for the earnings, and I did that for when after the earnings. So I'm not looking at the short term. I'm looking at this longer term, and it looks fine to me. Looks fine to me longer term. The stream should be on YouTube and Twitch. I don't know why it's not on Twitch right now. I'm gonna have to fix that. It says it's logged on to Twitch, but I don't know how that's gonna be. So I'm gonna have to try to do that again. So it should be on both of those things. Baba. Alright, Baba. Alright, Baba here. 140 was my target. I had some long leaps for 150. Sold those out for a pretty good amount. We bought those like a year ago. And we could see here, Baba's been shit for 4 years, 5 years, and now it's doing something. It potentially broke out and then fell, and now it broke out again. And this week, if it closes like this, that could be a potential hanging man, and then we could have a potential push and then drop next week. And if that happens, then I think it comes down to 121, maybe even 118. And if it could hold that area of 118 and consolidate here, then I think possibly Baba could potentially set up to go to 170 and 180. Okay, but as of right now, this is showing me a potential top out for the short term. So this is a hanging man inside day, inside week actually. Hanging man inside week. So if that finishes like that and it doesn't do anything, which I think it's gonna finish like that, because there's a lot up and there's a lot below, so I think it's gonna finish like that. So if that does that, next week we're gonna have to look at and see what it does. Potentially, if it gaps up next week, potentially it's gonna sell off. And if it does that, it's gonna sell off. It will gap up towards 141, 140, and then it will sell off to 128, and then probably consolidate a little bit, maybe hit 120, maybe hit 118. But between 118 and 120 area is where you need to hold to be consolidation into this zone right here between 122 and 140. And if that could build that bull flag for a couple weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks, then it could potentially set up to push to 170, 180, maybe even 200. So if it comes down to 120s, then maybe I'll be looking at Baba leaps for 2020 January 2016 for 200. Okay, so maybe I'll be looking for the 200 or maybe even 180s when it comes down to 120s in the 120s. Okay, so I'll even put so I'll say 125. I'll be looking to buy Baba below 125, maybe 120 area, but I'll be looking at it after it drops below 125. And if it does gap up, I'll look at it Monday. And if it gaps up above 140, then I'll be looking at getting puts, because I think it comes back down to 125. Then I think it comes right here to this 20 SMA, which is going to be closer to 118 by that time. And there's a little gap fill as well right there. So 118 area. I'll be looking at 118 to 120 area to definitely buy longer term from there. And if it dies again, then that's just what I get. But if it holds and then it pushes from there, then that could be a good play. But that's what Baba is. Okay. All right. Dollar Tree has just been consolidating. It looks good on the charts with the squeezes and the consolidation, but it just hasn't went yet. When it goes, it's gonna go, but it just hasn't went yet. It's just you got to get time on it. It's just been consolidating like crazy. It has not left this spot for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. So 6 months it's just been going sideways. So if you want to be long it, I would suggest maybe just leaps, because even the 4 months out, they didn't work out because it's just been going sideways. And sometimes the stock's going to do that. It's going to go sideways on you for a while. I mean, look at this. It's been going sideways for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. 6 months going sideways. Does it mean it's a bad stock? No, the RSI keeps going higher. The squeeze gets bigger. When it goes, it's going to go. But the timing of that's when it's going to go, maybe next earnings. That's next month. Maybe it goes then. But that consolidation is great. It's solid. The squeeze is solid. The bottom is solid. The bottoming is solid. Everything is solid, and it has everything that says that it's going to pop up towards 90, um, or even a little bit more, but it's just going sideways. So if you want to try it for next earnings coming, or just buy far out, I mean they're probably not that expensive for a leap. For well, actually they are pretty expensive. Dollar Tree, they are pretty expensive. But I think it will go. I think it will go to 85.90 in the next couple months. I don't know when exactly it's gonna do that. It had a beautiful setup and just kind of went sideways. Still has a nice setup, but it's just going sideways. Does it still look good? Does it still look like a great possibility? It does, but it's just the timing. When is it gonna do the next big thing? It looks like it's next month on the 17th. Maybe it goes then. Okay, maybe that's something when it gets closer that something that we could look into playing. But right now, it's just dead money. Dead money. Okay. 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 Hood. Okay. Hood. Let's see. The previous breakout here was around here at 42.65. That was a previous breakout there. All right, we got in there. We have this consolidation here. We have this consolidation. Cap here, this here, and then we come back down. So this could be a dead cat bounce. Just kind of like I've been saying around the market. Kind of looking like a dead cat bounce. So we do have a bottom here. We are above that 50. We could come back to that 54 area, 54, 52 area. This is essentially where we broke down. So let's see. So essentially, this area is the breakdown zone. Maybe a little higher. Right there. This area here is the breakdown zone. So this candle broke down. So we could potentially get back to 55 area, and then that could still be a bear flag, and then this could set up for another drop. So does that look like a top? Let's see. Essentially on the monthly, yes, it does. It does look like a top. We're gonna have to see what next month brings, but here, what do we see here on the weekly? Yeah, that's definitely top. That's a top. That's a bearish engulfing. This is a confirmation. So, we could definitely bounce to 55, 54, 55. But essentially, it's looking like it's topped out. For now, at least. I don't know where it drops to. Maybe it drops back into the 30s, 40s. 39 area, maybe back into this area. It consolidates and gets some more buyers and then comes back. But so far, this hard sell off with good volume and everything showing, it looks like it's at least a short term top. So this could bounce to that 55 area and then come back down. But I wouldn't expect this to V shape all the way back up. Maybe I'm wrong, but it doesn't look like it's going to do that. Okay. Okay. DKNG. All right. This is kind of looking the same price action wise. Let's see. Okay, yeah, this had a false breakout. So this is breakout here. This is breakout. We have false breakout, so it didn't work out. This is also breakout right above 44.90, so that's underneath there as well. So that's two false breakouts there. Okay, and then here we have, not as bad as the hood, but still inside candle on the weekly and confirmation. So bearish harami and then confirmation so far. This week's not over. Maybe this changes, but if it stays in this range, then it could definitely be a confirmation for the bearish harami and then come back down. So where does it come back down to? If this doesn't come back over to that 46.50, then this consolidates here and then drops back down to 39 and possibly 35 area. Okay, so this needs to get back above 45, 46. That would be even better, but 45 definitely. All right, MDT. Okay, so I think didn't we do this last week, and we said it, buy it up because it's hitting that area, and that it could come back to 90. Well, I guess it did. Came back to 90. The gap fill here is 91, but that was a good recovery there. What did we say? Had good earnings. It dropped, and then we held up. I said this was the weekly one. Yeah, there we go. So we have the ascending triangle, and we had the candle hitting the lower end of the channel. I said buy it up. It's gonna be a reversal candle, and it could come back all the way to 90, and it did within a week. That's pretty strong. So that bull flag still good. Remember I said we get above that 90 area by this week, and it's the bull flag is still good. So that bull flag's still good. Nothing's bad with it. Okay, this was just an overreaction, and it got bought up. So now we're above that 89.65. That's all we needed to be about. So we're above that. This bull flag is still intact. We could still have these targets 94 and 96 in time. So it's consolidating. Okay, weekly looks great. Weekly looks great. Bull flag looks great. Solid. Okay, going to consolidate for whatever, another week or two, maybe not even that. And once it breaks that 93.30, it should take off. Okay. It's MDT right there. Okay. Okay. Okay, Microsoft here. All right, so I have with Microsoft. Microsoft has been in this consolidation zone for months. So we're gonna grab that consolidation zone. And so we've been in this consolidation zone for months. Okay. We're here towards the lower end. What is that, 387? So here, I'll remove this for now. So we so 420 area is that mid area of the consolidation zone. Okay, that 420 area. So we hit that 420 area a couple of days ago, and then we dropped. Okay, now we're here at 400 area, and we made an indecision candle, inside day indecision candle. Okay, tomorrow's gonna dictate where we go. Okay, so We need to be above 403. We need to be above 403.60 to be bullish, and we need to drop below 394 to be bearish. Anything else is just chop consolidation. Okay. And if we do drop, we buy it up at 387 because that's where that big support is. Okay, so if we pop and get over that 403, we have an opportunity to go to 410, 411. Okay. Was it 407 to 411? Okay. And yeah, 407 to 411. Okay. If we could break that 411, then we could go back to 419, 420. Okay. If not, we go to 387. And then that needs to hold. All right, that needs to hold. Don't like that the RSI hit that 50 and then rejected. It did hold up pretty well today, but it did make an indecision candle, so it's still not sure what it wants to do. Okay, had a nice push, and then it came back down and kind of didn't know what it's going to do. Have a nice bullish divergence on it. That's good. Squeeze on it. That's good. But we need to see it break that 403.60. Break that 403.60 tomorrow, we have a good day. If not, in big range, and then if we drop, horrible drop to 387. Okay. That's Microsoft. Dow Jones already did. The DIA already did that. Okay. Amazon. Okay. All right. Amazon here. So let's just let's remove that for now. Okay. Let's extend that to the right. Okay. So we have this long channel on Amazon. Okay. Long channel on Amazon on our weekly. Okay, let's just remove that for now. Let's remove that. Okay. And let's remove that. And we can remove that. All right. So here, we could say our box is right here. Maybe a tad higher, just a tad, like right there. Okay. All right, there's our box. Okay, there's our channel. Lower end of the channel is 200. About 200. 201, 200. Okay. This is that area of support right there. That's good. Okay, now this 20 SMA is what? 216. 216.20. Okay. Now, the lower end of this box is 217. 217, say 217, about 215 to 217. Okay. Go to our daily. Okay, we're holding that 100 SMA right at 213. All right. That 217 is right here. We tested that today. Didn't quite get it. All right. Now, if we get that 217, we should hold this lower end of the box. If we hold that lower end of the box, we should start moving back towards 220, 223, 225. And then this would be that mid-range of the box, about 227 area. We have the lower and we have the upper. Okay. So yesterday we had a big buyers come in on here. And those big buyers didn't want us to fall out of the box, so they're buying it up. And then we came and tested that box. Now we're below that box just a little bit. We get back in that box, we should make a run for it. We should make a nice run for it. Okay. So here we are. We had that nice bull flag. We fired it up. We got to 218. Then we came back down. And then we came back up. And now we're holding above that 215 area so far. RSI above 50. That's great. And then essentially we break that 217, we go higher, we go 220, 221, and more. Okay. 4-hour chart, we can see that nice reversal. And then here we're holding up here. We just got to make that push now. So if we reject 214 and we go below 213.40, then we fall down and we come back down to 201, 200. Worst case scenario, 198, and then we bounce back. Otherwise, we stay here and we come back up in here. We come back into the 220, 227 area. All right, that's Amazon. Okay. All right, Tesla 200 estimates at 277.59. Okay, we lost this here and we fired a bear flag down yesterday. Okay, today we're continuing down. Okay, the next area of support is 277.59. Okay, if we don't hold that, then we have a major gap fill right here at 255. High 255.29. 255.20. 28. Gap fill. Okay, so you got a major gap fill there. Okay. Now if that doesn't hold for whatever reason, another major gap fill right here at 218.72. So if that really wants to fire down, right, it will do that. Now here's the thing, this consolidation here that we broke out of a long time ago, we're coming back inside of it. Now that consolidation area breakout point was 303. Right, 303, about 300. Let's just say 300 to 303. Okay. So if this could get back above 300 and hold, then we're going to hold this previous breakout. Okay. Now if it doesn't, we're going to come to these moving averages here and fill these gaps and then turn around possibly. Okay. So if we could get back above 300, RSI will turn around, get above 50. Okay. And we will hold that 300. If we don't, because this consolidation was very long, very high. Okay, if we don't, we're going to go to these moving averages here, right around 250, 255. Okay, if we do hold that 300, this here, we do hold that 300, this could be saved. For this larger bull flag here. Larger bull flag, it could be saved at 300 and get back above it, and then could next month be saved. Okay? If not, then you know where it's going. It's going right here. 250 area. Okay. Now even if it goes to the 200 estimate tomorrow, okay? If it goes to the 200 estimate tomorrow, 277 tomorrow, as long as by Friday it gets back above 300 by Friday, it's good. Friday's the one that matters. Tomorrow doesn't matter if it goes to 277, it goes to 255 tomorrow. If it could somehow, some way get back above 300 by Friday, it could be saved. And then next month it will go. It will run. If it doesn't, and it doesn't do anything, and if it stays here, or if it stays at 277 Friday, then most likely we go to 255. If we could hit 277 tomorrow, and then Friday it just turns around and we shoot up to 300, it's saved. Okay. So that's Tesla for you. Okay. Okay, IBM. IBM. Okay, IBM. IBM. Yeah. Okay, IBM. Okay, IBM here. Okay, at the upper end of the channel. That's why it's stalling out. It looks like it's gonna kind of stay in this zone right here for a little while. Right there. So that's the upper zone. That's the lower zone. It's gonna kind of make room in the channel. I'm not saying it's bearish, but it could pull back down back here to 240 maybe, and then set up and then continue on higher. But it's just needs to make room. It's not that it wants to stop. It's hit a wall and needs to make room. So it might not be for another 2-3 weeks that it makes a move higher. It has a nice bull flag. It could come back down to 246, but it's still going to be good. But it just needs to make room. It's at the upper end of the channel. It's up at the upper end of resistance. It's not gonna go any higher right now, at least. Okay. All right, RGTI. Okay, RGTI. We're at the lower end of this lower end support. Okay, lower support right here, 866. Okay, and the downtrend here. All right, so we have an inside day candle, and we're in the inside of the inside of yesterday. Okay, we need to get back above 110, and then we have this big giant consolidation. We're in a chop zone. This is a long-term play, and that's it. Like, you shouldn't be playing the short term, really. It's a long-term play, and that's it. You buy leaps on it, and just sit on it. I wouldn't be playing short term on these ones. These ones are long term holds, and that's it. So you buy it and forget it. It's at the lower end of the support. Okay, 866. If you're below 850, there's a problem. You know, it's not good for it. It's not good for the stock. You know, it's probably gonna hit 7. Okay, but if you're here, you're holding, then you could consolidate in between 8 and 13. Okay, 8 and 13. This is your consolidation zone. Okay, here you fill the gap. You filled the gap yesterday, so it's above now. So that could be that gap fill could be done, and then we could consolidate inside here. This is going to consolidate in here and make this larger end bull flag here, but it's going to take a couple months. Okay, it's not going to go next month. It's not going to go next week. It's going to take a couple months. So I suggest if you want to play this stock, then you get months out, months and months out, a year out. Leaps are the only thing that you should be in on this. Maybe 8 months out, but a leap is probably the best that you want to play this out. You know, it did have a nice run up before, but after it corrected, now it's trying to find more buyers to jump in and that might take a little while. So all these competing stocks, they should be treated as long-term plays and not as short-term plays anymore. They were short-term plays here, but now they're transitioned into longer-term plays because of the consolidation that they're going to behave in. So you might get a swing from $8 to $12. Okay, that might be enough for you. But if you want that swing from $8 to $20 or $30 or $40, you're gonna have to get a longer term play and just hold it and wait it out. Okay. Okay. Um. Oops. Okay. Um. Again, to say the least on this again, it's one of those stocks where it was a short term play um, going into the year and last year, but now it's not a short term play. You're gonna have to hold it long term or don't hold it at all. This is stuck in this consolidation here. We have a gap fill right there, the upper end, but right here consolidation. It's going sideways. Our size creeping up, but again, this is gonna be a longer term play. You're gonna have to play this one out. This is a monthly bull flag. You're gonna have to wait a couple months on this one. It's not gonna go tomorrow. It's not gonna go next week. I'd say that you gotta hold it out for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, and buy long term and just hold it and don't look at it. If you're gonna be looking at this every week, then yeah, it's not for you. You're gonna look at it next month. It's not for you. You're gonna need to buy it and hold it for a long term play, and that's it. It's a long term play. That's it. All right, guys. I only have a couple more in me. All right. Okay. NBIS. As we said this last week, same thing. Nothing's changed. It's holding the uptrend. It's holding the uptrend. This is where we're buying. Uptrend's holding. We're gonna buy. Every time it hits this uptrend, we're gonna buy. It's a nice area to buy. It's a beautiful place to buy. You know, um, we got rejected all these, but we keep going higher. This is a nice stock that keeps paying us. It held yesterday. It pushed on today a little bit, but as long as we're above that 34 area, 33, 34 area, this one should be pushing back up at least to 40, 41 area. This is the area that we kind of acknowledge like to sell at, that 40-ish area, 42, 40, 41, 42 area. So, we push back over there. It should be a good area to sell. If we break through that and we hit that 50, that's a good area to sell. If it breaks through that, then we're gonna go 55, 60. But other than that, this one is a nice, very nice entrance right here. As long as we stay above 34, 33, we could continue on to 40 and more. Okay. All right, DE. Look, DE ran up, and now it's pulled back, and it's in consolidation, and it's going to be in consolidation from 46.66 to 44.90. So 476 to 490. That's your consolidation. Okay, we get above 490, it's going to be very bullish, and then it could continue on. Had very strong push, and now we're low volume sell, but again, it's going to consolidate for a little bit. This isn't a short-term play either. This has to be at least a couple weeks out, maybe a month or two. Um, but you know, once you get over that 490, you could get to that 500 or more. But right now, it's stuck in this consolidation between 476 and 490. And that's where it's going to be. Okay, if it gets on higher, then it goes. That's cool. But right now, this is what we're looking at. Maybe it goes another 2-3 days, and maybe next week it starts pushing, or maybe midway next week starts pushing up higher. If it breaks down 470, then that's, you know, it's no good. 470, it's no good. Okay, and then it's just any tank down. So that's not good. It's right there at the 20 SMA right now. If it breaks that 475, that's no good. If it breaks 470, it's definitely just get out of it. Okay. Look, Snow had earnings. Okay, so you want to know, oh, is it going to go higher? Look, any earnings you get, sell it at open. That's if it's popped up high on earnings, sell it at open. Why even deal with it with the earnings crush and the IV crush? If you have any snow, sell it at open. If you have any, if you want to get into any, you gotta wait. Plain simple, you gotta wait. You're gonna jump into something right away after earnings. It's not a smart play. It's not a smart play at all. So earnings, good, great, okay, but it stopped right at the top of where it was before. So what does that tell you? This area here, is I'll just put it a little bit lower. This area here is top-ish. So we got that top, we got this top, we got that top, we got that top, we got this top. Okay, and we come here. So tomorrow, okay, we open up right here. Guess what? All these people that are stuck at these prices, all these people that are stuck here, all these people that are stuck, they might sell it tomorrow and it might drop. So if it's up, get out of it at the open. If you want to get back in, see what it does. If it goes higher, and great. If it initially goes higher on the first candle, I would still wait, because if it goes not higher on the first candle, and that hits, say, 195, just for instance, I'm not saying it will, but if it does and then it completely tanks, then you know you're stuck. Now you're one of the people that are stuck. So don't do that. Just wait. Okay, have good earnings. Okay, get out of it if you did. If not, you gotta wait on how it reacts, because you don't know if it's gonna dump after or if it stays. You don't know how it's gonna react. So earnings plays, you're not gonna get anything out of it unless you're already in it. All right. Okay, Dow Chemical. There you go. All right. It looks like it has a little bottom on there. It does have a little bullish divergence on here, but it still looks weak to me. Doesn't look essentially strong in any sense. There we go. It looks like it's going to consolidate. Nothing too crazy on this. I don't really see strength, really. RSI is okay, but it's still not above 50. Um, it's still kind of weak on the price action. Okay, we need to fill this gap too. So there's a lot of resistance above. So you got the gap, you got the moving averages, you got the resistance here. Okay, you got a dividend coming in, but who knows if it hits, if that entices anybody. I just think it consolidates more. I don't really see a play here yet. It looks like it's just gonna kind of go sideways in this this large range. Nothing too nothing too crazy. All right. Okay, so that's it. All right, guys. I've been on here for a while. Tired. I'm gonna call it a night, and I'll see you guys next week. All right. I'm gonna see how I can do this here.